Hello, this is Sarah Brosh. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to do a video about another person who was canceled. They were fired or ousted from an organization recently, and it was from an organization that tried to kill me, that participated in the global vilification and defamation campaign against me that almost got me killed, the witch hunt that almost got me killed after the living or napping while black hate crime hoax at Yale. So this person's name is Lauren Wolfe. She was recently fired from the New York Times. And of course, the New York Times was complicit in the Living or Not Being While Black hate crime hoax at Yale, worked hand in hand with Yale President Peter Salovey to grossly defame me as a genocidal villain who lynches black students at Yale via the Yale campus police, and who continues to this day to tell disgusting lies about me, who made multiple front page super fun and funny games out of trying to get me killed, etc. So of course there's no love lost between me and the fake news organization called the New York Times. They are a sick and evil organization comprised primarily of evil, lying bigots and charlatans and frauds who tell lies. And I've been very vocal and very public about how much I hate the New York Times, how I think they should shutter themselves in abject shame for what they did to me, how they're repulsive and they don't appreciate any notion of journalistic ethics or integrity or humanity whatsoever. So anyway, so Lauren Wolfe is someone who has written for the New York Times, and apparently she was also an editor there, and apparently she had worked on pieces. She had a particular niche for doing pieces about like atrocious, abominable human rights atrocities, particularly including with respect to sexual violence perpetrated against women and girls, especially in war zones, that sort of thing. So a very serious, human rights oriented journalist at the New York Times, an editor apparently. So anyway, so she was fired recently, or I guess technically they just, well, she didn't even have a contract, I guess. They just technically severed their relationship with her and will no longer be working with her in any capacity. So Lauren Wolfe, what she did, her sin was also apparently at least one tweet. I guess there were a couple of tweets, and the one in particular that I guess that got her fired was where she was describing Joe Biden flying in, I guess, to DC on a commercial jet. I guess he was on a commercial jet. And so I guess her issue was that Trump, which was customary, did not send Air Force One to bring Biden to DC on Inauguration Day. And so Lauren Wolfe described herself as having chills when she was watching Biden's plane come in and land. And I guess part of this was just that he was on a commercial jet, and so he wasn't as safe as he would have otherwise been if he had been on Air Force One, which I guess was customary for the outgoing president to, you know, have Air Force One pick up the incoming president on Inauguration Day and bring him to DC, to the White House, etc. So also it was just because she's an anti-Trump person. She was very pro-Biden, and so she said she had chills when she was watching Biden's plane come in. This was the tweet. And so apparently she had been fired because this was a display of, you know, egregious bias, you know, etc. So anyway, I think that it was ridiculous for her to have been fired for this tweet, and then Lauren Wolfe was very upset, and she was very vocal and public about this, especially on social media, on Twitter, that apparently the New York Times made some statement trying to sort of like, you know, cast aspersions at her and, you know, insinuate that there was a pattern of behavior that they found unacceptable, and that it wasn't just about a single tweet, and that, smearing the quality of her work and disparaging the quality of her work. And so obviously she was very upset about this, to have her reputation besmirched in this way. And so I believe as of now, the New York Times has severed their relationship with her. That's a permanent situation. Lauren Wolfe has indicated that she has no interest in working with the New York Times again. And of course, per the contract that everyone signs when you've been canceled, you get a Substack. Except for me, of course. Except for me. So, and her Substack, which is cute, I think this is cute, is called Chills, because she got fired for the tweet where she said she has chills. So I think that's cute. So anyway, so that's the story. So I don't want this video to go too long. That's it, basically. I have reached out to Lauren Wolfe over Twitter. I've asked her to please write about my plight, being canceled, being subjected to a witch hunt at Yale, and a moral outrage mob on Twitter, etc. I have not received a response from her. At this point, I don't really expect to receive a response from her, because, as I indicated, she's definitely someone who was anti-Trump, who is still anti-Trump, who is very pro-Biden. So she probably couldn't care less that I almost died, even though I am standing against her cancellation and making it very clear and making a public statement that it was completely asinine for her to be ousted at the New York Times for that tweet. Ridiculous. Par for the course for the New York Times, but ridiculous. And I'm happy to say that, even though I hate the New York Times and they tried to kill me. And I'm sure Lauren Wolfe doesn't care if I die, but I am here to say I stand against her cancellation. And that's the story. Okay, I love you all so much. I'll have my PayPal me and GoFundMe and links below, and the link to donate directly to my wonderful attorneys at Randazza Legal Group. All right. Please support me. Please donate to my legal fund so that I can sue the New York Times and stop the moral outrage industry from getting one more innocent person killed. All right, I love you all so much. Have a great night. Bye.